Now this is interesting. Me, I love the SLOP. I love isekai. All of it except from the smartphone one. But hey, someone's telling me to avoid SLOP. But I don't think I can, man. We'll see though.
¿Qué toca hoy, Oni-chan? Oh, un isekai, por favor. Original. Con un...
Whoops. Let's restart that because I was listening to some of my videos in Spanish. Anyway.
What'll it be today, Oni-chan?
I'll have one isekai, please.
Our original.
With a harem.
Original.
Aren't we? One SLOP isekai.
Wait, what did they have up there? Did I see like, every version of Kirito? But hey, what can he do, man? Hold on. That's kind of crazy. That's a crazy pose. That's a little risky. But what can he do? Japanese guy, black hair. Sure, you can style it different ways, but it's like, you know, black characters in Hollywood. They have to have the Killmonger haircut, you know? Same thing.
You know, I love isekai. No, really. The idea of being transported somewhere that isn't Cleveland, Ohio to live out an ideal action.
True. Wait, Cleveland, Ohio? Never mind. He takes the cake. If I was him, I would isekai. Cut that.
It's something one can only dream of in this 50-50 hellhole we call life. And when I've come back home after a long day at the evil-ass Bad Touch factory, I want to be able to unwind with a babble.
Bad Touch?
Tatebayo and such. I will admit though, there has been a steady uptick in slop media in the West, which drove me and others to anime. But it seems now the East isn't doing any better. Looks like
it's always been like this though. No? It's always been like this in manga and even manhwa. So I don't think it's changed. It's just got worse because it grew. I think the point is it grew exponentially with the growth of anime. That's all it is.
Garbage media is a universal concept. Because what if I told
a lot of it has always been bad.
Slop. The battle anime and high school dramas have a contender for generating the lowest effort garbage you've ever seen. Allow me to introduce you to a very special genre. Isekai, meaning another world or other world, is a type of anime that usually revolves around the main character being sent through means.
I love that this is the grim guy in Ash. Apparently it's terrible. I don't know. Never watched it.
Outside of their control to live in, you guessed it, another world. And even if you've never watched it in anime, there are plenty of examples throughout all of media and literature of this extremely common trope. Popular ones being the Divine Comedy or Alice in Wonderland. And
yeah. I'm glad it's giving some like actual options that are not technically quote unquote isekai, you know?
Popular, but close to my heart.
Forbidden Kingdom. I love to bring that up all the time, man. My favorite isekais ever.
Is Black Knight or...
Oh my god, my brain just expanded. I forgot about this movie. Lawrence of Black Knight. This was so good.
Knight or Nickelodeon's Chalk Zone. And the Japanese, oh, those silly goobers. They've been pumping out...
I've always loved isekai. Even before, like, even knowing anime. I think I just loved the idea of another world, man. Because this one sucks.
Isekai as early as the 8th century, and now it's a global phenomenon. Really impressive. But I'm not here to give you a crash course on its history. I'm here to help you, viewer, avoid a fate I could not save myself from. Wasting your time on shit television. In 2025 through 2026, there have been over 50 new isekais, and I can't imagine being bothered to watch even a third.
It's too late. I've read this one. This is the one with the kid and the aura, right? It's got crazy aura, death aura. This water one, I think I watched it. I haven't seen this other one though. But I want to see it at some point. The vending machine, I stopped watching it. I think after season 1, it kind of got stale. He turned himself into a fucking bank, dude. Yeah, banks are vending machines now, I guess. Prefer sci-fi. I want to get into more sci-fi stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I've been pondering whether to watch some Star Trek at some point. Maybe. Don't quote me.
Third of them. At this point, the genre is like bread, filling and bad for your macros, and bad bread is for the birds. It gets to a point where it feels like these things are only being pumped out to see who can make the longest title for the worst show you've ever seen.
Well, the titles are for like the normals though. That's the whole point of the titles, because it's kind of the meta. You try to put pretty much what the concept is. Instead of putting it on the blurb, at the back, the little paragraph where you read it, oh, this is what generally what the book is about. They put it in the title in Japan. It's just meta shit, really.
In an effort to
That's how you know one is a novel.
reduce the amount of time wasted watching paint by numbers anime slop, I have compiled a list, in no particular order of importance, of the kind of tropes you would see in the isekai genre that screams your time is about to be wasted.
Oh, we're
Let it
going for
also
the
be known
trope.
that there are instances when isekai has these tropes and are still good, but these days it's far and few between. Trust me, I've looked.
You know what I really liked? That one where like it was the co-workers and one of them turned into a girl when they got isekai pretty much. And there was this, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I like it for a particular reason. Never mind. For those degenerates out there, never mind. I'll skip. I was gonna talk to the degenerates, but that will be me putting my hands up while saying I'm a degenerate too. But
There's nothing.
What I'm trying to say is the list isn't bulletproof, but it should also at least give you the tools necessary to save yourselves, something I couldn't do, and now I guide others to
my rule is, if you're getting into isekai, if there's a main character that uses a smartphone, do not watch it. Skip.
a treasure I can't possess. This list also hinges on the idea of giving a new anime the 3-episode treatment, which, if I have to watch more than that before the story can suck me in, I'm not friggin' doing it. Let us
That's
begin.
fair.
Sign 1. Chosen Hero or Demon King. Probably the most played out trope in the isekai genre is when the MC just so happen to make their way to the other world around the time of great political unrest or when the uncertainty of the nation is at risk for one reason or another, and has been selected as the top guy capable of defeating the looming threat over the kingdom or nation, whatever. With the
What I like is Overlord. They do this well. It's just like an insert of Nazarick, and he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna take over.
big bad being the Demon King, a nameless, faceless prop used to propel the story forward.
It's such a trope, the Demon King shit, where like you get isekai, oh, they kill the Demon King, that they make parodies of it. Like, was it Overly Cautious Hero? He gets isekai'd, and I'm pretty sure the angels keep isekai'ing people until like the Demon King is dead. But there is another one. This is an issue. I think I like them doing the same shit because eventually someone will try something different. One example, there's one where the guy gets isekai'd, but he's not the hero. He's actually there to kill the hero because after the hero kills the Demon King, he starts getting a bit weird. And it's a different concept, man.
While Chosen One stories aren't inherently a bad thing, I mean, there's an entire religion centered around a Chosen One isekai. This trope, when done poorly, has the story meander around because there will be nothing to do once the big bad is under heel, usually because there isn't enough story for the set episode count of the series, with the baddie being a vehicle for...
Look at Solo Leveling. If you read Solo Leveling and the next one after, we're fighting aliens. Spoiler alert. Sorry, I should have said that beforehand. Just forget what I just said.
The addition of other genres like harem, slice of life, romance, besides the usual action adventure that comes baked into isekai. Now, once again, that doesn't always mean it's bad. Sometimes the show may surprise you and the villain is actually the royalty, which could set up a juicy revenge plot, or when the Demon King is defeated, revealing the actual villain. And other popular isekais like Overlord or Eminence in Shadow, they...
And you talked to me about doing it? Yeah, because I'm the streamer. I'm more important. Now sit your ass. I'm kidding.
reincarnate and become the bad guy, creating the actual threat of the anime. But if you're watching SLOP, the nuance isn't there, and you can usually tell, especially if they introduce said threats and the show treats the main quest like an afterthought. Sign 2, the insanely OP MC. Oh, this is one of my favorite tropes to raise hell about, because it's always a distinct aroma in bad anime when the MC is the pinnacle of strength in whatever power system the show has.
I'll put my hands up. I love overpowered MCs. I really do. Rimuru's one of them. He barely like really struggles. I mean, in Solo Leveling, he doesn't struggle in the manhwa, but in the anime, they make him struggle because it's a Korean comic. It's a manhwa, and it was the Japanese guy because in the comic. It's actually different in the manhwa because Jinwoo beats the shit out of him, completely destroys him. But you know, the anime is made in Japan, so they gotta change a couple of things here and there. You know, tensions are still tight between those countries.
On top of being beyond all reproach when it comes to their actions and moral alignment. Having your MC plop in and be insanely powerful, or he's able to wield the kind of power that makes people shit their pants whenever he demonstrates his skill, is bad for the same reasons why we can't get any good Superman games.
To be honest, even in Manhunt's nanomachines, he doesn't struggle, and even if he's on the same level as like the enemy or is about to fight an enemy, he just cultivates for a bit, you know, a couple of days, couple of weeks, couple of months, and then comes out, he's OP as shit again. What I do like is you can be OP in other ways other than just power, just strength. Like I like magic systems where it's generally like what the guy thinks of, like compounds and how fire works, and that amplifies their fire magic, or how they can draw moisture from the air and use water magic that way instead of carrying like a pail of water or something. I like shit like that. Like Pharmacy in Another World, the guy knows compounds inside and out because he worked at a pharmacy. That's his strength. Even though he is super powerful himself, but his actual power is knowledge. When
the character you're writing is beyond all danger, there are no stakes. And no stakes mean no story. And no story means you're wasting your flipping time. So it becomes a show about hype moments and, look, he was just pretending to be weak and you don't stand a chance, blah, blah, blah. And if you're above the age of
I like that shit, man. Hey, whoa. What is he trying to say?
12, it's basically
12? Bro, we like hype moments. There's a reason why Soul Leveling is doing so well as an anime. Yeah. People like hype shit. Demon Slayer. Nobody really talks about like the day-to-day shit, really, to be honest. They talk about the hype moments of like the fights and the choreography and the different breathing styles or whatever.
A show about nothing. Now, this can be turned around and made so that even though the MC is insanely powerful, his friends aren't, and the story can shift to how even though with all his power, he can't be there to help his loved ones. But in the bad anime, you'd be hard-pressed to find the non-mainstream isekai with an overpowered MC to that level of nuance. More Kirito clones, please. This is the part of the power fantasy I don't like.
What I like in the what's it called? Tsukimichi Moonlight. It's an isekai. The guy is powerful as shit, but his friends are actually weaker than him. And there is a point in time where a character dies and he goes psychotic, like sociopathic. He finds the girl, no emotions, just monotone level of voice, talking to her, cuts her leg off, and then slowly slides. Dude, I love that shit, man. But I have said in the past, I like psychopathic, like sociopathic MCs. That just, you know what? Someone talks shit, he just murks them. But that's me, though. That's a personal preference.
The MC didn't earn these insane skills or power. They were just naturally awesome and better, or got a blessing from a goddess because the plot said so. And to witness the indomitable human spirit play out is a must. Lazy storytellers just want to have all this power so they can get all the anime huzz. Once the stakes are removed, it doesn't really leave much room for growth, besides how much bigger his flashiest attacks are going to be. A classic Gary Stu situation. And I want to add a little addendum. I've watched a decent chunk of isekai and I realized that when the main character specifically decides to become a magic user or share some resemblance to Kirito from SAO, it almost guarantees that your viewing experience will be lessened because—
Oh, that's kind of fair though, to be honest. Oh my god, this is the Black Summoner. This guy's a Black Summoner. Yeah, they're all, oh, this is from like the Weakest Crest or something. He controls slime and bro, this guy. Fuck this guy. Ignore this anime. You can see his smartphone there. He has a smartphone. Ignore it. Skip this shit.
Because the creator of the show wanted to cash in on the synonymous nature of having a black-haired, zero-personality, morally stagnant OPMC without developing anything outside of how powerful he is, or creating the kind of content that would go in a top 10 anime crash-outs compilation. Sign number 3, harems. Whoa.
Based, true, real. God, this guy's smart. He thinks just like me. He must be a genius. Don't like harems. It draws away from the main story, to be honest, and it's fluff. I would count it as filler, dude. Unless it's like pertinent to the story. Like this one isekai is pretty much it. All he does is like he manages a kingdom, and then they suddenly give it to him, and then he marries the daughter to be able to like get the kingdom, and that's kind of pertinent because it's the girl's kingdom. and they kind of fall in love with each other at some point because they're working so closely. I don't mind that. And I think he's just has one partner. So
I can see you smashing that dislike button. Hear me out, playa. Probably the most controversial reasoning for whether or not an isekai is worth your time is if for whatever reason, whenever the protagonist, usually male, comes across a person of the opposite gender, usually female, she immediately wants to jump his bones. And from that point forward is no longer a character and relegated
the smartphone and isekai, dude. It's so bad.
To being his cheerleader, only ever really having dialogue to tell the MC to try his best, get kidnapped, or be the focus for awkward perversion.
It's the Is there a lot of that in Aurifreta? I don't think so. Or maybe I blocked that out of my mind. Let me know.
Now, I don't want to dog on the
you remember that shit.
In isekai. I want to more so highlight that you know it's going to be a steaming pile of poo-poo when the women are only there to be eye candy or damsels in distress as a part of a power fantasy for the MC, who is also so morally pure and clueless as to why these women want to bed him. I'm sorry, the idea of a woman throwing themselves at me is immersion breaking.
Yeah, dude, I'm trying to self-insert. This ain't happening.
Who wouldn't want to have a gaggle of smoking hot women at your beck and call, ready to face the worst evils in order to get a sliver of affection from their hunky beau? Hey man, I want to go crazy. But another thing with this trope is that in the generic...
You know what I like though? Eminence in Shadow, because there's a lot of girls in there. There's a lot of fan service. One particular beast girl. They tamed it for the anime, by the way. But this is why I like harem anime. I used to watch it when I was younger, but I can't anymore. I'm not gonna lie. I think I stopped doing that at 16 years old because I was like, it's just, I don't know, where's the story in my brain? But that's what I like about Eminence in Shadow, because it doesn't really affect him. He's too busy trying to aura farm and trying to set up moments that it's not really a thing.
The MC,
even though there's like all these like well-designed, obviously made for fan service girls there,
usually has no actual personality and is completely sexless, almost asexual, and you're only ever reminded that he knows how to get a boner when the
True. You know what? I would have more respect if the main character was just a player and not a fucking loser, to be honest. I would have more respect for harem-style animes or harem plot points in isekai if the guy just, yeah, sure, but wait, there is one, and it's not a kid. The MC is like 40 years old, and I think it was like the first inn that he slept at, the girl, the waitress kind of woman, like kind of inferred for them to sleep together, and it was like, yeah, fuck it. Let's do it.
Still decides to have a random shared bath scene, and its inclusion in the form of secondhand embarrassment or edging the viewers to the possibility of giant 2D gazangas.
True. Most of the time it's just pure edging, but I don't mind that in Eminence in Shadow. He's a determined mind. He's focused, man. Sid Kagano has no time for bitches. All he's thinking about is the farm, the aura farming. Hell yeah.
It's annoying, and it makes for some of
What about the guy in Charlotte? We don't talk about that guy in Charlotte and what he does with his powers. Let's not talk about that.
Most paint-by-numbers anime you ever watched. That being said, I'm not advocating from a Puritan standpoint. I love 2D gazangas, and
True. But the thing is, I like real gazangas too. But if I'm gonna watch that, I'm pretty much gonna jerk off. I'm not gonna shout because of my neighbors. So I might as well just watch something else. You know, the black and orange site. You know what I'm saying?
Animes for teenage boys, which I am.
Or the blue site, if you get that reference. I'm gonna shake your hand with a glove, obviously, because I don't know where the fucking hand has been, you dirty son of a...
Nah. But if all the show has to offer is the gazangas without developing the best girls attached to them, I don't want it. The plot has to be good before the payoff, if you're sniffing what I'm shitting.
True.
Sign number 4.
Huh? What? What? If you're sniffing what I'm what?
Good before the payoff, if you're sniffing what I'm shitting.
I'm so bewildered. That's the first time I've heard that. What the fuck? Why is this so good though? Why is it a good saying?
Sign number 4, the community builder sim.
Hey yo, do you sniff what I'm shitting, dude?
This kind of builds on top of the overpowered MC. Sign number 4, the community builder sim. This kind of...
I disagree. I'm sorry. I have to hard disagree with this one. I love that shit. I don't want to play Civilization games, but I want to watch animes about Civilization gaming. Just building a city in or a country with Tensura, or managing a kingdom. That one anime I completely forgot the name of. I love that shit.
Builds on
I don't want to do it myself, you know. I don't want to play Sims or Civilization or anything, but like I love when it happens.
top of the overpowered MC trope, because when it gets to a point where the main guy no longer faces any real danger, for whatever reason, the show becomes a Civ campaign, with the plot now revolving around making a city and forging relations with other nations and the adjacent. A kind of pseudo-political melodrama with anime antics sprinkled in. And when the bad anime reaches this point, then the entire thing becomes about the intricacies of the world and the complex relations between factions or nations.
All I heard was he hates world building. Wait, this is world building. What do you, huh?
What have you, which bogs down the story, especially
It's world building. What do you mean it bogs? It can get actually pretty bad. I will say that the previous season of Tensura was, let's just say, anime watchers, I think you guys, wait, did you guys get cucked, or did the manga readers get cucked? Because I do know that one of them is longer, but I don't remember which one it was, whether it was the anime or the manga. One of you guys got cucked, and that's me also, because I watched the anime and I read the manga up to that point. It can drone on, and it can be just, oh, we're just telling you all this shit all at once in 30 minutes, and it can go up to like a couple of episodes, and it gets, you know. But if it's done well, I will say, if the person is just a normal guy, gets isekai'd, and then somehow he knows how to build a country, like, that's the only caveat that I'm like, yeah, I can see your point there, but everything else is like, it's world building. Come on, man.
when the show uses that time for unnecessary expo dumps for however many episodes.
Yeah.
The reason
And he's showing Tensura because the last season was expo dump the whole time, and then they finally did the dungeon thing and the whole event.
why this in of itself is an issue is because when you start to quantify things like prices,
I'm pretty sure like the last season was just them building the fucking dungeon the whole time, man. They were just building the dungeon, and it was the last episode we got to see what the dungeon is. Like, holy shit, dude.
or laws, or take entire episodes explaining the world lore with no actual payoff to what we learned, when the show wants to do something that doesn't fit within those pre-established rules, it comes off as lazy. And also, it's boring as fuck. No, I don't want to sit for a 23-minute episode of just them talking and negotiating with neighboring countries. Fuck.
Fair. But I don't know. Shows can't always be hype. It can't always be hype. But I will say it is a bit much if it's the whole episode and you're doing that.
No, I can't be bothered with the MC sitting down with his council and deciding how many new laws or construction projects will be underway for their new society. I want to escape the shackles of the real world, not find the way to bring it into fantasy, which is what
I will say one thing that Tensura should have kept doing it this way. They used to explain what they were building in the city, in the country, on OVAs, and I used to hop on the OVAs to be able to like get a feel for how the country is progressing. But then they moved that into just real episodes. So like if they kept with that trend of just having all the exposition that people don't like in OVAs and focus more on like what's next, what's the next big bad, what's the story or whatever, it would have been like way better than it is currently. I think people just a little peeved from last
It
season.
happens a lot in these lackluster shows when there isn't an actual plot to be had. And my cortisol is raised when this kind of stuff happens in a 12 to 13 episode show. Like, we don't have time for this, man. I need to see if Buddy confesses his feelings before defeating the Demon King. No, but really, I don't mind world building or fleshing out societies, but if it's being used to waste the viewer's time, it's extremely grating and noticeable once pointed out.
Fair.
Sign number 5, video game rules. This is one of the most important.
Oh, that is true. That is true. There's been a couple of animes where, like, what I hate the most, actually, I'm gonna have to make a video on this because this is one of my pet peeves. Is the game system? Oh, status open. Why? Why in this other world there's a digital fucking thing? They do magic. They still ride in carts. Why do they have access to status open or some shit? Like, it's stupid. A lot of shows, a lot of isekais and fantasy, if you remove the fucking game system, the system itself, it'll be so much better. 100 times better.
Important tropes for me that immediately inform what I'm watching is unfettered visual diarrhea. Now, this is different from if the isekai is established as a video game world, but some of the reasons I'll say still apply sometimes.
Yeah, both Fury. That one, they're in VR, man. That's fine. SAO.
What you should watch out for more so is when the anime bends over backwards to give the MC every advantage known to man through the use of a system or unique mechanic that is only known to the MC themselves, which screams SAO clone, certified garbage. And look, I like...
Now, for the people who do watch Solo Leveling and might be thinking in their head, oh, wait, Solo Leveling has that. It gets explained later, and it's actually pretty decent explanation of why.
SAO, but not everything needs to be sword art. I don't like this concept because in some animes that make use of the system trope, it feeds the MC information that he would otherwise have no reason knowing. Or once again, it gives them an edge that feels unearned, killing an important part of the power fantasy. In the way how if Naruto was able to immediately at series beginning tap into the chakra of the Nine Tails because he politely asked and the fox agreed, then the show and his internal struggle would be moot and utterly...
Imagine if Naruto had the game system. Bro,
unwatchable.
That would be stupid.
It's better storytelling when the MC works for it. Another reason why I don't like the system trope in these new gen isekais is because I think some of them misunderstand what made it so intriguing in shows like SAO, and even I don't really know myself. The best I can get at is due to the novelty at the time, and also how it made sense in the setting of...
I will say, if SAO, the first season, Alicization is really fucking good, and I think it would survive if it released as a separate anime on its own today. The first season of SAO and the second, I don't think it would be, you know, I don't know. I think amongst the SLOP, but I will say it kind of is a progenitor of some sort of SLOP, to be honest.
Being trapped in a video game. Kirito being OP because he had been playing...
This was a fucking great scene, man. His health just barely takes it. He just out-healed all of them. Holy aura farming, man.
Well before
look at him.
But when you have shows like Solo Leveling or The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, it seems like the system does all the heavy lifting for the MC.
Tensura, yes. Solo Leveling, like I said, it will get explained later on, and it's a good explanation.
You're just supposed to sit back and clap at the pretty colors, which if that's what you want, then be my guest, but at least be self-aware that it's lacking in some aspects. And just like Slime and Solo Leveling, when it's a non-game world and the MC has exclusive use of game mechanics, it's bleak. Sign number 6.
Yeah,
Slice of
again, it gets explained later. Although, after that point, I don't know, man. It gets weird. Solo Leveling gets really weird. I don't even know if they're gonna continue with, I think it's called Ragnarok. If they are, it might fall off, to be honest.
Creep. This is when the series either halts or slows the show's plot to have an extended and or unnecessary period of downtime for the MC, having them do mundane things that doesn't really add to the story in a significant way. Now,
Command Unit, you know how I feel about this. I liked Rose, Code Geass Rose, a lot because there wasn't downtimes like Lelouch's Rebellion. I'm putting my hands up. Yep. All the downtimes of them dressing up, chasing the cat, and all that shit. Ugh, nah, I'm good.
Now, if the show is a slice of life with action sprinkled in, then that's a separate story. But if we're in an instance like the MC has finally gotten the location of the big bad and it's time to go face him, to then the next episode being the obligatory beach episode,
The fucking beach episode, man. I remember vividly, No Game, No Life. I think it was the first time I noticed the beach episode. I'm not sure if it's the first time I've seen a beach episode, but it was pretty much the first time I noticed it. I don't know. It just felt weird. They had all of this shit and then suddenly there's a beach episode. And I'm like, what? What is happening? Downtime is important. Not to me, man.
Gonna be a bit hot, especially if it's a 2-part stoppage. This one is incredibly annoying because it ties in perfectly with the OPMC and community builder sim issue. I personally don't have a problem with the slice of...
I actually don't mind this sort of slice of life of them being away together with Yui. I didn't mind it because it wasn't too long.
Life anime. One of my favorite animes is a slice of life romance. But if the show is advertised as an action adventure, I don't really want the cozy stuff to have an extended amount of time in a show that doesn't really need it. Now, since I
imagine a beach episode in Revenges. Now, I will caveat that with I don't remember Revengeance too well. I know I watched it, but don't be crazy if there was a fucking beach episode there.
I'd say that this list is based on giving the show the 3-episode treatment. The slice of life creep is usually near the end of the series, but if you're seeing it within 3 episodes, it's an immediate DEFCON 1. Sign number 7.
Tensura did this, the slice of life stuff, together with the country building was in the OVAs, not the main stuff.
7.
Until later they changed it.
It's almost standard for most anime these days for the church to be corrupt and or a demon or being a fake religion. Its believers are zealots and foolish, and they get what's coming to them and the like. Look, I'm a believing man, and while I am able to not be offended by portrayals like this, the reason why I chalk the evil church trope up to SLOP is because of how obvious it is that the organized religion of the world is super evil, which in my eyes is a failing on the show's creator in making an institution that should be a source of good in the world another enemy to combat and dismantle. And it's even more annoying when the MC starts to morally grandstand as a beacon of what's truly fair and just, and it seems like the writers just had a stick to wave at God and decided to do it via 2014 edgelord Reddit arguments. And
I don't mind this, to be honest, but it is a lot. It's pretty much all the time. Like, there isn't a good church, but again, how many religions out there and how many denominations of those religions out there? I will say mainly Christian denominations. A lot of them are scams, but mostly America. Because, I don't know, they're wild. America is wild. Like, you have people flying in jumbo jets and trying to justify it and looking like the devil the whole time, man.
I bring this up because during my watch of The Rising of S.H.I.E.L.D. Hero is when I realized this. The church's evil as a trope happens a lot in isekai and anime in general, and I can admit was subversive at the time. Then it became the standard, which I suppose is whatever, free will. But I think
Hellsing too, yeah.
The show tries to play it off as a shocking revelation. Look, the guys who are supposed to be good are just as heartless and evil as his fellow man. When in reality, anyone over the age of 14 could see the twist coming, sir.
I will say they can do an quote-unquote evil church well, in the fact that they believe what they're doing is righteous, and in some sort of way makes the viewer kind of perceive what they're doing as, yeah, maybe on their end, it does seem like the righteous thing to do. If they do that well, if the writers do that well, fuck it. Do the whole church, evil church trope.
Let's just move on.
Make it something where, like, I don't know, the MC is like part of the demon race and they've been bad before or whatever, and that's the whole conflict between him and the church. It's not that the church necessarily is bad, it's just that's what they've been doing. Demons are technically evil.
And I can see this reason being polarizing for people, but it's unoriginal at this point. It would honestly be more subversive if the church was good, and not a straw man for why people with any form of faith are foolish, especially if in that isekai world, gods and goddesses exist. And sign number 8, lollies. Now, this isn't isekai specific.
Thank you. I hate lollies, man. I feel like you know what they're doing, you know? There's a certain niche that they're trying to capture, and I don't like it. I will say I've watched the first 2 episodes of Sentenced to Be a Hero. I don't mind the lolly in that, to be honest. She's not as annoying. That's my main gripe with lollies is, yeah, sure, like they do the other stuff I don't want to speak on, but like, yeah, that's granted, that's obviously bad. But my main gripe is lollies are fucking annoying. They're annoying as fuck, dude. But in Sentenced to Be a Hero, it's endearing. She actually is endearing, and she's not annoying at all.
Decided to sneak this one in because it bothers my sensibilities specifically. And I know defenders will say, well, it's not a person, it's a drawing and it isn't hurting anyone. So you can't call me a Diddy supporter for getting off to the stuff. Okay, fine. Let's just place this logic in a different circumstance. Let's say that there were drawings of animals. No. Let me finish. There are drawings of animals, no specific named animal, just like a drawing of a dog, but not anthropomorphic either. And I told you I get
a level 5 dog. I see.
Aroused by these drawings and said, but I'm not a zoophile because they aren't actual pictures of dogs. They're just drawings that accurately depict the shape, features, and build of a dog, sometimes having lewd or sexual acts performed on them. I swear, you can trust me around your dog. I just wouldn't believe you. And that's what I have to say on that. Now, okay, it is one thing to have a lolly in the show, whatever. It's a drawing of the Lolita body type. But once they start to get sexualized, and I mean panty shots, getting into...
You know, the weird thing is that the term Lolita is different from how it's being used now for lollies. Because I think... Wait, which one is it? There's one anime I'm thinking of. There's a lolly. She's a librarian, and that's all she does. She meets the. I think it might be solo. No Game No Life actually, but she has the Lolita trope down pat because she wears that kind of like dress. This is why I don't get like we just moved straight from like a appearance, like a style, to it's a small person that looks like a child. Yeah. It depends on the character for how annoying. I think most of them are annoying. Senses to be a hero is the only like outlier in my mind.
The physical relationships with characters that actually look like adults, I'm peacing out. No, I don't care if she's a 3,000-year-old witch. She looks like my baby sister. Good day. There is no level of convincing that will ever change my mind. But there are anime that have women that are just small. The most popular being Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out. Like, yeah, I got 2 reasons why she's just a short lady. Because
indeed.
petite women are real. They exist and deserve love. But if it looks like a child and acts like a child, which is a big one, it's especially
true when a character just acts like a child too, man. I find it kind of funny that if a character is 16 plus, it's free to be sexualized in Japan.
They say, hey, this is actually an adult woman.
Different cultures.
But the show infantilizes her. Come on, man. Get that out of my face. Now, I'm not trying to say that I'm better because my goons are more ethical, but if you're gooning to it, then I kind of am. I get it if you think these characters are cute and I'm
going to say a hot take, okay? I'm going to say a hot take. I might be out of myself here. There is an opposite to this, right? Holy shit. Don't even say this. Fuck it, dude. We ballin'. Right. There is an opposite to this. There are some characters that look older, but turns out they're 16. Look at, I think JoJo's is one of them. Like, a lot of the characters, they look old as shit, but they're actually really young. I think one picture comes to mind is from Bleach. All I'm saying is, bro, you can't just slap like an age for someone who looks like, you know what I'm saying? Who looks like that and like, you know what I'm saying, dude? Someone tell me they know what I'm saying. Oh, please. Do I cut that out? I don't know.
mascot sense, but still, I said what I said and I'm sticking to it. All in all, even though I have these complaints about isekais, that doesn't really stop me from being a fan of the genre and continuing to watch them even if some of
it's funny though.
I enjoyed No Game Live, Konosuba, The Time I Got Reincarnated as a...
That was a good video, man. That was a good video. I disagree with a couple of things here and there, but all it comes down to is personal preference, to be honest. Except the lolly shit. You're fucking weird if you're into that.